Hello, and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Train's 2016 cover album. Train does Led Zeppelin 2, in which they covered all of Led Zeppelin's 1969 album, Led Zeppelin 2, which I've already reviewed. You can watch that review by clicking on the little info card in the video. It should be the first one. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist. 5 out of 9, 1 over half. I added basically all the same tracks that I added from the original Led Zeppelin 2, with the exception of one, the opening track, Whole Lotta Love. I don't think Train pulls it off that well, but the rest of the tracks are pretty much alright. Train doesn't do a bad job on this cover album, but it's not like super great or anything. It's kind of difficult to review this because it's intentionally not super original or something, really anything that's like, oh yeah, we specifically tried to do this. In terms of cover albums, I guess it's pretty good because it's not super amazing at anything. It's obviously not quite as good as the original, but it's still pretty alright. The music's all the same. They do the music the same, and you know, they don't somehow make it better, but they don't really make it that worse. So I guess this is alright for a cover album. My favorite song here is the same as my favorite song on the original, Ramble On. The Train version isn't bad, but I definitely prefer the original, which carries for the rest of the album pretty much. That's kind of how it is. I don't mind the Train version, so Now, I ranked this album 8th out of Train's 12 albums, definitely towards the bottom. I had some difficulty ranking this. You're literally asking how good a Led Zeppelin album would be in the context of Train's albums, but I think that Train Does Led Zeppelin 2 is probably better than some of Train's albums by virtue of Led Zeppelin 2 being better than some of Train's albums, for sure. So I put it kind of in the middle of Train's not-so-great albums. I think really, you could put this anywhere on the bottom half of the list, anything below Bulletproof Picasso. A cover album shouldn't really beat any of Train's really good albums, even if it probably would on its own. But it's super difficult to decide which Train albums are good enough to beat Led Zeppelin 2 and which aren't. So you could definitely put this at the bottom, depending on how you wanted to judge the whole cover album thing. But this definitely doesn't take my top spot from 2016. That stays with One Republic's Oh My My, which I don't know if that one's better than Led Zeppelin 2 on its own, but it's definitely better than the cover album, so it stays with that one. Next up is ABBA's 1981 album, The Visitors. This was their last album before they broke up, so it's pretty much the finale of their career. They did release a 2021 reunion album, but this is basically the last one, so stay minty.